Welcome to my guide to creating super high audience retention YouTube videos with MrBeast. In this episode, I'm pulling back the curtain on the exact strategies that keep millions of viewers glued to my videos from start to finish. We'll dive into the psychology of retention, the storytelling techniques that work every time, and the little tweaks you can make to transform a good video into an addictive one. Whether you're a beginner or already creating content, this guide will give you practical tools to keep your audience hooked and coming back for more.
I've spent the last decade obsessing over one thing: getting people to watch my videos all the way through. On YouTube, audience retention, how long viewers stick around, is everything. My videos regularly hit around 70% average view duration, even at 10+ minutes long. That's practically unheard of, and it's a big reason my channel exploded. In this guide, I'll walk you through how I keep millions of people glued to the screen, sharing my tactics, examples from some of my biggest videos, and the psychology behind it all. By the end, you'll know how to apply these strategies to any niche on YouTube, straight from my first-hand experience. Let's get into it. Key tactics I use to maximize audience retention. Making super engaging videos isn't magic, it's about using smart tactics consistently. Here are the core principles I live by for every video. 1. Hook viewers in immediately. No time wasted. The first few seconds of a video can make or break it. I grab your attention from the very start. There's no slow intro, no drawn-out titles. In fact, I often front-load the most exciting part or the premise right up front. The goal is simple: give people a reason to keep watching in the first 5 to 15 seconds. How do I hook you? I literally tell you why you should watch and what's coming. If the video is about a crazy challenge or huge prize, I state that outright. For example, in my real-life Squid Game video, the very first moments explained 456 people compete for $456,000, and the games are insane. There's no ambiguity. I want you to immediately think, whoa, this is going to be crazy, so you don't click away. As I once explained in an interview, literally, just tell them why they should watch it. If we put 100 million Orbeez in a pool, I'm going to say that up front so you know something wild is happening. Visuals matter here too. I'll often start with quick, flashy clips of the most epic moments, explosions, massive stacks of cash, insane stunts, as a teaser. Within the first minute, you should already feel like you can't look away. That first minute is the most important. I make it super high energy and to the point. There's no intro montage or hey guys, welcome back fluff. We hit the ground running. If you watch my videos, you'll notice we often cut straight into the action or the challenge setup. By the 1-minute mark, the viewer fully understands the stakes and is excited for what's next. 2. Never let a dull moment slip. Fast pace and cuts. Once I've hooked you, I never give you a reason to get bored. My rule is simple: if there's ever a moment in a video where I, or anyone on my team, feels even slightly bored while watching, we cut it. I've said this many times because it's literally how I edit. If I'm watching our draft and there's a part that even slightly bores me, I'm like, cut it. If I'm not like, wow, the whole time, then it's not good. What this means in practice is our pacing is extreme. We edit our videos relentlessly. I'll go through 5, 6, sometimes 7 rounds of edits on one video, trimming every unnecessary second. Dead air, slow transitions, repetitive bits, all gone. Every second has to count. Most of my videos are 10 to 15 minutes of non-stop entertainment, with rapid cuts and constant movement. If you watch closely, you'll see we rarely hold a shot for more than a few seconds without either a cut, a zoom, a caption, or something happening to re-grab attention. This isn't by accident, it's deliberate retention editing. For example, you'll notice I also use big captions, sound effects, and zooms on funny reactions. These aren't just stylistic, they're designed to keep your brain engaged. Quick text pop-ups or meme edits can recapture a drifting viewer. Likewise, I avoid long explanations or dialogues. If something needs explaining, I'll narrate it concisely over B-roll rather than show a boring scene. No filler, no fluff, ever. My mantra: entertainment density. Pack as much intrigue or humor as possible, and cut everything else. This way the viewer never has the chance to think, this part's slow, and click off. 3. Establish clear stakes and curiosity. Every MrBeast video has stakes that you understand right away. People don't watch just to see random stuff happen, they watch to see outcomes. Who will win the money? Will we pull off the insane challenge? Can we survive something crazy? I make the stakes crystal clear from the start so the audience wants to see how it ends. One of the best examples is our Last to Leave series. Like Last to Leave, the circle wins $100,000. These videos inherently make you stick around because you want to see who outlasts everyone and takes the prize. As I highlight to my team, a great format can boost retention by itself. In a last to leave challenge, viewers get invested in the progress and really want to see who's the final winner. It creates an open loop in your mind. You naturally want that payoff at the end. This format is a retention goldmine. The challenge itself is the storyline, and you know it ends when one person remains, so you're compelled to watch it play out. I do this in one-off videos too. Take $456,000 Squid Game in real life. The stake is obvious. 456 people are competing in elimination games for a life-changing amount of money. You know only one can win. That automatically creates curiosity. Who will it be? Throughout the video, at each game, red light/green light, tug of war, etc., you see contestants getting knocked out, wondering if your favorite or any standout will make it. We structure that video to mirror the tension of the real Squid Game. There's constant curiosity about who survives each round. By the time we get to the final games, you're deeply invested in finding out the winner. I even tease big moments ahead of time to spark curiosity. In the Squid Game video, I literally told viewers to watch until the glass bridge game because it's insane. Glass bridge was one of the most exciting parts, so I wanted to make sure no one clicked away before seeing it. This is a little trick, hint at a crazy payoff coming later. It plants the idea that you haven't seen the best part yet, don't quit now. And trust me, it worked. People watched through to see that insane bridge sequence. Bottom line, I set up a question or goal at the start of the video, and the viewer knows they'll get the answer by the end. Whether it's can 100 people lift a plane, or will this guy spend $1 million in time, that unresolved question keeps you hooked until it's resolved. It's human nature, we need to see the outcome. 4. Constantly introduce novelty and surprises. One reason people love my content is that it's packed with surprises and new elements. To maximize retention, I aim to reset the viewer's interest periodically with something unexpected. This could be a plot twist, a new challenge level, a surprise guest, or escalating stakes. If you keep things predictable, viewers tune out. If you keep things dynamic, viewers stay excited. I often design videos in phases or rounds, so there's always something new around the corner. In the $1 million in 1 minute video, for instance, we didn't just do one shopping spree, we did multiple rounds in different locations, each more outrageous. The first person ran through a store grabbing items, novel and fun to watch. Next, we up the ante and go to a jewelry store, new setting, higher stakes. She could actually spend the million in one go on a single item. Then we surprise with my brother as a contestant in a game store, adding a personal twist and some humor. Later on, we even bring the challenge to unexpected places. I won't spoil everything if you haven't seen it, but let's just say a house might be involved. The point is, every few minutes the scenario changes or escalates, preventing the content from feeling stale. This is very deliberate to keep retention high. I also use mid-video pattern interrupts. Roughly a few minutes in, I love throwing a curveball. Maybe a new rule gets introduced, a challenge gets harder, or I pull out a plot twist. Actually, here's a surprise bonus challenge. I've even hidden re-engagement moments around the 3-minute mark in many videos. Something big or funny happens there to jolt anyone who might be losing attention. It could be a comedic bit or a dramatic turn of events. For example, in one challenge I might suddenly double the prize money unexpectedly or introduce an entirely new competitor out of the blue. These surprise elements re-energize viewers' attention at critical points. Novelty is your friend. Humans love seeing new, interesting things. In my videos I'll frequently relocate the action, from a warehouse to an island to a private jet, or switch up the challenge format midway. In the Squid Game video, each game was a totally different setup. You never knew what game was next unless you were familiar with the show. And even then we added our twist, like the final game turned into musical chairs. This constant change meant viewers never felt like I get the point, this is repetitive. Instead, you're thinking what will they do next, all the way through. 5. Get viewers emotionally invested, characters and emotion. People will watch longer if they care either about the outcome or the people involved. I've learned that beyond the flashy stunts, you need some emotional pull. Now, on YouTube I tend to prioritize excitement over deep storytelling. Too much slow emotional backstory can hurt retention, more on that later. But I still try to give viewers something to latch onto emotionally, even if subtly. One way is through relatable reactions and personalities. Over the years, my friends, like Chris, Chandler, Carl, became familiar faces on the channel. Viewers like them and enjoy our banter, so they'll stick around partly for that chemistry. In challenge videos, I often highlight contestants' personalities or funny moments. Look at this guy strategizing, or she's determined to win for her family, etc. Just enough to make you root for people. In the $1 million spend video. You see contestants' eyes light up and hear what they do with the money, one guy grabbing gifts for his family, etc. Those little human moments spark emotional investment. You start silently cheering for them to succeed, which means you'll watch to see if they do. Lately, I've been thinking even more about character and story. In fact, for some new projects, like my upcoming Beast game show, I'm planning much deeper character development and longer-form storytelling. I realized that the way reality TV hooks people with personalities and stories can work on YouTube if done right. Even in recent YouTube videos, I've experimented with letting the story breathe more and building up individuals' arcs, and it increased audience retention because viewers felt like they were watching a mini-movie or competition show. When you care about who wins or the journey someone is on, you'll watch to the end. It's that simple. However, I'll caution, any emotional or character moments must be genuinely engaging. Early on, I tried occasionally letting contestants share longer personal stories on camera, and I noticed viewers would drop off during those parts. My YouTube audience wasn't in the mood for a slow, heartfelt monologue in the middle of a crazy challenge. The retention graph told the story, a dip whenever the pacing died down for sentimental segments. So I learned to integrate emotion without derailing the pacing. Now, if I include an emotional element, I weave it into the action, e.g., as someone is competing, they mention why they want to win in one compelling sentence, rather than a separate sob story segment. The key is to make viewers feel something while still keeping them entertained. A little empathy and human connection, wrapped in a fast-paced package, goes a long way in boosting retention. 6. Analyze and iterate, learning from the data. I'm a huge nerd about YouTube analytics. One less obvious retention strategy one swear by is studying my audience retention graphs for every video. YouTube lets you see second by second where viewers drop off. I pore over that data. As I often advise other creators, go through your last 50 videos and write down where most people clicked off, then don't do those things again. It sounds obvious, but very few creators actually do this homework. I literally perform retention autopsies on my videos. If I see it did that, say, for 30 in the video, I'll analyze what was happening there. Was I explaining something too long? Did the energy lull? Was a joke not landing? Then I adjust my content strategy going forward to eliminate that weakness. Over dozens of videos, this made my content incredibly tight. I systematically remove things that consistently cause drop-off. For example, we noticed that certain types of outro or end scenes made people leave before the video actually ended, so now we often end immediately after the final payoff, with no drawn-out farewell. We saw that quick cuts and maintaining momentum work, whereas slowing down too much doesn't. All this came from data. Beyond retention graphs, I also consider the bigger picture data like average view duration and average view percentage on each video. If a video gets, say, 60% retention and another gets 75%, I ask why and dissect the differences. The goal is always to beat my last video's retention by making the next one even more engaging from start to finish. This relentless iteration is a huge part of why my retention is so high now. I've essentially trained myself on what not to do by listening to the audience. Like I always say, the algorithm is really just the audience. If people are clicking and watching, YouTube will promote the video. If not, it won't. So I focus on the humans behind the numbers and try to make content that we ourselves would watch without getting distracted. By using these key tactics, strong hooks, tight editing, clear stakes, constant novelty, emotional hooks, and data-driven improvements, I've been able to keep viewers watching an absurd percentage of each video. Now, let's look at how some of these principles come to life in two of my most popular high-retention videos. Case study, $456,000 Squid Game in real life, breaking YouTube with 70% plus retention. One of my biggest videos ever was the Squid Game in real life recreation. It amassed over 200 million views, and a big reason for that is its insane audience retention, reportedly over 70% watched on average, which for a 25-minute video is wild. Here's how I applied my retention formula to this video. Instant hook and setup. The video opens immediately by explaining the premise. 456 people competing in real-life Squid Game for a $456,000 prize. No drawn-out intro. Within the first 15 seconds you know the stakes and you see hundreds of contestants in those green tracksuits. This bold, quick setup grabbed everyone's attention. If you clicked out of curiosity, MrBeast recreated Squid Game, you are instantly rewarded with the spectacle of it. Familiar format with a twist. Squid Game's format itself is built for retention. It's a series of elimination games, which naturally creates a storyline of suspense. We leveraged that tournament structure. Viewers had to see each game and who survives. It's like watching a mini-series in one video. Each game, red light/green light, honeycomb candy, tug of war, marbles, glass bridge, and the final, acted as a chapter that keeps you watching to find out who dies, gets eliminated, and who advances. This survival format is incredibly engaging. It's the same reason people binge the Netflix show. In our video, after every round, you're eager to see what the next game is and who's still standing. Pacing and editing. Even though it's one of my longer videos, we edited it super tightly. Hundreds of hours of footage were cut down to about 25 minutes of only the highlights and essential moments. During red light/green light, for example, we rapidly show people getting shot, eliminated, in a montage rather than dwell on any slow portion. The video constantly moves, from one game to the next with minimal downtime. We included just enough of the players' reactions and close calls to create tension, but never so much that it drags. Also, between games, I kept my commentary snappy and focused on building anticipation for the next round, not filler talk. Surprises and production value. One way we kept it novel was sheer spectacle. Each set was massive and visually striking. The giant doll, the glass bridge setup, etc., which provides constant eye candy. Viewers were often in awe thinking he actually built this. That novelty keeps people watching. We also threw in surprises. For instance, the glass bridge game had a real tension element of players potentially falling onto foam from heights. Even if you'd seen Squid Game, you didn't know how we might execute it or if someone could actually get hurt. That uncertainty keeps viewers on edge. I also added a fun twist at the very end. Our final game was musical chairs, a simpler, unexpected game to determine the winner, since obviously we couldn't have a fight to the death. It was a quirky change that gave a last jolt of excitement at the finale. Audience cues and teases. I mentioned earlier, but we literally told people in the description, and IRC in a pinned comment, to watch until the glass bridge. It's insane. This was intentional. Glass bridge was mid-video, and we noticed some viewers might drop off around then if they thought they'd seen enough. By hyping that segment, we ensured more people stuck around for it, and once they saw how crazy it was, they typically stayed till the end. Also, throughout the video I'd sometimes remind the audience what's at stake. Only X players left. Who's gonna win $456,000? To refocus their attention on the end goal whenever a round ended. Overall, the Squid Game video was a masterclass in retention-friendly content, a popular concept, huge scale, clear stakes, continuous action, and lots of payoff moments. It ended up with one of the highest retentions we've seen on the channel, which in turn made YouTube promote it even more, because viewers were statistically addicted to it. The result, it broke records for views in a short time and even led to a measurable revival of interest in the Squid Game show itself. Case study. I gave people $1 million but only 1 minute to spend it. Sustaining hype through a crazy challenge. This video is another great example of audience retention tactics at work. The concept is super high stakes and inherently interesting. Ordinary people get a chance to spend up to $1 million in just 60 seconds. Here's how we made sure viewers stayed glued. Immediate hook and explanation. The video cold opens with me revealing $1 million in cash on the table and announcing the challenge. I'm giving random people 1 minute to spend all this money. Boom, within the first 10 seconds, any viewer knows exactly what's happening and is intrigued. The excitement is instantaneous. You can't help but wonder, can they do it? What will they buy? There's no lengthy setup. It's literally me saying the premise and yelling go to start the first round almost right away. That quick start acts as a hook. You have to see what happens when the clock is ticking. The excitement is instantaneous. You can't help but wonder, can they do it? What will they buy? There's no lengthy setup. It's literally me saying the premise and yelling go to start the first round almost right away. That quick start acts as a hook. You have to see what happens when the clock is ticking. Time pressure equals automatic tension. The 1 minute time limit is a built-in retention driver. A ticking clock creates natural suspense. In the video, from the moment we say 60 seconds starting now, it's a thrill. Viewers experience that urgency along with the contestants. Every second that passes, you're on edge. Are they grabbing enough expensive stuff? How close are they to $1 million? This format keeps hearts racing, both the participants and the audiences. By giving updates like 30 seconds left and showing a countdown timer on screen, we maintain that tension continuously. Time pressure is a fantastic way to hold attention. It's like a mini action movie scene playing out over a minute, over and over. Multiple rounds, structured like chapters instead of just one spending spree. I included several rounds in different stores. This is crucial. If it were only one round with one person, some viewers might click away after it's done. So we structure the video almost like a series of challenges. First, electronics store, where the guy spent $18,000, failing to max out the prize. Then a jewelry store with a new person, where she spent more, around $60,000. Then another store, and so on, each time with a different contestant and strategy. This format resets the excitement with a fresh scenario every few minutes. It also creates a question that carries through all rounds. Will anyone manage to spend the full $1 million in time? As long as that ultimate goal hasn't been achieved, viewers have a reason to keep watching all the way. Each round, the audience is thinking, maybe this next person will figure out how to do it, and they don't want to miss that moment if it happens. Escalation and novelty. We deliberately escalated the scenarios to keep things interesting. The first guy tries a typical shopping spree in a retail store. Fun, but he only spent $18,000, as shown. So next we up the ante and go to a luxury jewelry store for the next person, where it's actually possible to spend $1 million in a minute on huge diamonds. This immediately raises the stakes. She could blow the whole million with one item. That round had viewers on the edge of their seats because it seemed achievable, and she did rack up tens of thousands fast. We continue escalating by switching environments, e.g., another round takes place in an expensive game store with my brother participating, adding humor and a personal element. Later rounds include even bigger opportunities. I won't spoil every detail, but imagine houses and cars. Each new location or twist reignites the audience's curiosity. What will they try next? It's novelty layered on top of a consistent challenge. This way, even 10 minutes into the video, something new is happening that you haven't seen earlier in the same video. Editing and commentary. The editing in this video is very tight and high energy. During the 60-second shopping sprees, the cuts are rapid. We bounce between multiple camera angles of the person frantically grabbing items. I have upbeat music and a ticking timer sound to amplify the intensity. You'll notice I'm also commentating in real time, calling out what they're grabbing. How many seconds remain? 40 seconds left. Hurry. Reacting with astonishment. Look at all those gift cards. This running commentary keeps the viewer engaged and informed, almost like a sports announcer in a race. There's never a silent moment for them to detach. After each round, we do a quick, satisfying reveal of how much they spent and celebrate their haul, then immediately transition to next up. We're at X location with Y person. The snappy pacing between rounds ensures no drop-off. We cut out any downtime. For example, we don't show the full tallying process, just a quick montage in the final amount, to keep things moving briskly. Emotional highs. Even though the concept is lighthearted, there are small emotional or humorous beats that keep viewers connected. The contestants' reactions are genuine and fun. You see their excitement, stress, and joy. One guy in the tech store was grabbing dozens of gift cards, and we replayed it in slow-mo for comedic effect. Viewers laugh and feel the excitement with him. In the jewelry store, the woman was clearly thrilled picking out necklaces and even said she'd give some away as gifts, which is a heartwarming touch. These moments make the audience happy for them, creating a positive emotional payoff each round. The people get to keep the stuff, after all. That feel-good element encourages people to watch more rounds, because it's fun to see others win cool stuff and imagine what you'd do. By the end of the video, we've cycled through multiple intense 1-minute challenges and likely captured the viewer's attention throughout. The proof was in the retention stats. This video performed extremely well, holding a strong average view duration. Each segment fed into the next, and the overarching question, will anyone hit the million, kept everyone watching until the final outcome. It's a formula I love. Take one epic concept and play it out in a few different ways in one video, so it never gets old. The viewers get multiple mini-stories, and they stick around to see them all. The psychology behind these strategies. Why do all these tactics work so well? Because they tap into fundamental human psychology and attention behaviors. I've basically made a career out of understanding what makes people watch. Here are the psychological principles at play in my retention strategy. Curiosity and open loops. Humans hate not knowing how something ends. If you pose a question or challenge, who will win? Can this be done? People feel compelled to see the resolution. I exploit this by structuring videos around clear goals and open loops. The curiosity to find out the result is a powerful hook on the brain. It creates cognitive tension that only gets resolved by watching the video to the end. Attention span and quick rewards. Let's face it, attention spans online are short. People are ready to click on the next thing at any moment. That's why I aim to reward the viewer's attention every few seconds, with either a new visual, a joke, something shocking, etc. The idea is to never let their attention cool off. Psychologically, when you get stimulated by something interesting, you stay engaged. If there's a dull stretch, your mind wanders. My fast pacing and constant novelty ensure the viewer's brain always has something to latch onto. It's almost a form of stimulus conditioning. I condition viewers to expect there's always excitement around the corner, so they keep watching. High stakes and emotional investment. People are more likely to continue watching if they feel emotionally involved. By establishing stakes, money on the line, extreme challenges, personal pride, etc., viewers subconsciously invest in the scenario. There's a bit of adrenaline, if the stakes are exciting or dangerous, and often empathy, seeing real people compete or win touches emotions. In something like the Squid Game video, viewers felt tension, who will survive, and excitement, the games, those emotions keep them absorbed. In the $1 million challenge, it's the thrill and happiness of seeing someone possibly change their life. Emotions, excitement, joy, suspense, even fear of missing out, glue attention. I always try to stir some feeling, not just spectacle for spectacle's sake. Novelty and surprise. Our brains are wired to notice new or unexpected things. It's an evolutionary trait. If a video is predictable, the brain goes on autopilot and might seek something else. If a video keeps surprising you, your brain stays alert. That's why introducing twists, turning the tables, or escalating situations is so effective. Even a small surprise, like me suddenly doubling a prize, or a contestant making an unexpected move, can re-engage a viewer who is drifting. Novelty releases dopamine, giving a little burst of "ooh, interesting," that resets attention. I basically try to deliver those dopamine hits throughout the video. Storytelling and relatability. Stories have kept humans captivated around campfires for millennia. A YouTube video is no different. A narrative pulls people in. I use very simple storytelling techniques, because my videos are fast, but they're still stories. There's a beginning, challenge presented, a middle, obstacles or competition unfolds, and an end, outcome. By framing videos this way, I'm leveraging the psychological fact that we're wired to see things through once a story starts. Also, when viewers find something or someone relatable, like a contestant who reminds them of themselves, or just seeing real human reactions, it increases empathy and connection, which in turn increases investment in watching. Even the comedic moments or failures in my videos tap into relatability. We laugh because we can imagine doing the same silly thing under pressure. All of that keeps people mentally present and not clicking away. Audience equals algorithm mindset. Here's a big insight. I always remind myself that what we call the YouTube algorithm is really just people. If you satisfy the audience's psychological desires, entertain them, intrigue them, make them happy, the algorithm naturally rewards you. So I don't chase hacks, I chase understanding viewers. By studying real viewer behavior, I've learned, for example, that boredom equals death on YouTube. If someone even thinks about checking their phone because the video lost them, I've likely lost that viewer for good. So all these retention tactics are about respecting the viewer's time and expectations. I assume anyone watching is internally asking, am I glad I clicked this? Is this worth my time? I want the answer to be yes at every moment. Psychologically, if you consistently fulfill that promise, viewers develop trust in your content, even if they're not consciously thinking about it. They know MrBeast videos always keep me engaged, which makes them more likely to click my next video and watch it all. It becomes a positive feedback loop of trust and satisfaction. In short, audience retention is about psychology, capturing attention quickly, and then never letting it go. You do that by understanding what viewers want and don't want to see. I often say that studying YouTube deeply is basically studying human psychology. Everything I do, from big fonts on screen to crazy challenges, is aimed at the brain and heart of the viewer. When you respect those human factors, the metrics naturally follow. Rare tips and less obvious advice on retaining viewers. By now you know the big strategies I use out in the open. But I've also picked up some less obvious tips over the years that many creators overlook. Here are a few insider pieces of advice for boosting retention. Use data like a detective. Don't just glance at your analytics, deep dive into them. I treat retention graphs like treasure maps. As mentioned, I literally study where viewers drop off in each video and make a list of things not to do. It might be a specific joke that consistently flops, or maybe every time you show a certain B-roll clip the graph dips. Find the patterns. Then ruthlessly cut those from future videos. This iterative improvement is one of the secret reasons my content keeps such high retention. I'm learning from your viewing behavior constantly. Consider doing A/B tests. I sometimes release a video, watch initial retention, then even re-upload a slightly edited version if I think I can fix a drop-off point. Yes, I've done that. It's that level of obsession. Use your last 50 videos data as your free film school. Iterate thumbnails/titles to influence retention. Here's something counterintuitive. Retention starts before the video. How you title and thumbnail a video sets viewer expectations, which affects whether they stick around. If your title promises one thing but your video opens differently, people might leave. I ensure my title thumbnail combo accurately teases the content and builds the right expectation. For example, if the title is I adopted 100 dogs, I darn well start the video with me and a bunch of puppies, not 30 seconds of me talking about the idea. Matching expectations leads to better retention because viewers get what they clicked for. On the flip side, sometimes a title can be crafted to create curiosity about the ending, which helps retention. Think of titles like I survived 50 hours buried alive. You know the ending because I obviously survived, but it implies a journey you want to see. Or a title like a question, can 1,000 speakers break glass, sets up the need to watch for the answer. Establish a track record. Viewer trust this one's more long-term. If you consistently deliver engaging videos, over time viewers trust that you won't waste their time. I've talked about this effect. When viewers sense you always put in high effort and never half-ass a video, they're conditioned to watch all the way through and to click on future videos. They just know this is gonna be good. To build this, you have to always prioritize quality. Never upload a video that you know is boring parts just to meet an upload schedule. I'd rather skip a week than drop a subpar video. Because one weak video can lower the likelihood that a viewer clicks the next one. Maintain that reputation of every video is fire and you'll see higher retention across the board as your audience trusts you. It's like a brand promise. Leverage repeatable formats. Carefully, we touched on this with last to leave challenges. Finding a format or series that works can be a goldmine for retention because viewers know the setup and are invested in the outcome every time. Whether it's a recurring challenge, a game show format, or a character arc, a format gives structure that viewers can latch onto. But the caution is you can't let it become too predictable or overused. I space out similar format videos and always try to add a new twist each time. The familiarity brings viewers in, but the novelty keeps them. If you have a series, say a regular segment on your channel, ask, is there a way to escalate it or surprise the audience within that format this time? Keep refining it. A great format is like a skeleton. You still need fresh meat on the bones each time to keep people interested. Avoid retention killers. There are some common mistakes that absolutely kill audience retention. One is lengthy intros or logo animations. Never do this. Nobody cares about your 10-second intro graphic. They will skip or drop. Another is talking too much before showing value. If you have an exciting bit, don't talk for 2 minutes leading up to it. Get to the point, then maybe explain if needed. Also, avoid clickbait that misleads. If people feel tricked, they will drop off fast and not come back. I make my concepts extreme, but they're genuine. If I say I'm giving someone $100,000, you'll see that happen. Consistency matters too. If the video changes direction in a jarring way, like it starts as one challenge then becomes something totally different unrelated, you'll lose people. Basically, respect the viewer's time and expectations. Whenever you're editing, put yourself in a random viewer's shoes and ask, would this part make me want to click away? Be brutally honest. Early on, I realized my old videos just weren't good enough. I looked at retention and saw viewers leaving by the halfway mark because I wasn't delivering value. It was a hard truth, but acknowledging that made me improve. Don't blame algorithms if people aren't watching. Study your content and make it better. Keep innovating and never get complacent. This is more of a mindset, but it's crucial. I'm constantly asking my team, how can we top the last video? How can we make this even more engaging? I firmly believe everything can always be improved. Pacing, ideas, editing, scenes, you name it. The moment you think this is good enough, your retention will stagnate or drop. I've tweeted something like, I always want to be improving my content. No matter how big the videos get, I can make them better. Pacing, idea, editing, jokes, execution, etc. can always be better, and I'll never get complacent. That mentality is why I'll scrap a video we spent weeks on if I feel it's not entertaining enough. It's why we'll reshoot or re-edit last minute if needed. Pushing those boundaries is how you find new ways to captivate viewers. For example, I noticed everyone started copying the ultra-fast MrBeast style editing on YouTube, so I began thinking of other angles, like could a slightly longer, story-driven video still hold retention if done differently? We tested one where we slowed the pace just a bit to build more story, and it surprisingly did great. The lesson is to keep experimenting and evolving your style. Audiences evolve. What wowed people in 2019 might be routine by 2025, so stay ahead of the curve. Always be a student of YouTube. I still study other creators, trends, and viewer reactions like it's day one. Each of these tips might not be as flashy as give away $1 million, but they are hugely impactful in retaining viewers. Mastering the technical stuff, like reading graphs, and the creative discipline, like cutting fluff, is what separates a good YouTuber from a great one in terms of audience retention. applying these strategies to different YouTube niches. Okay, Jimmy, you might be thinking, this is fine for you. You've got huge budgets and wild stunts. How do I apply this if I'm doing a cooking channel, or tech reviews, or gaming, or education? Great question. The truth is retention principles are universal. No matter the niche, it's about keeping people interested. Here's how you can adapt my strategies to your content. Gaming channel. Let's say you're a gaming YouTuber. You might not be giving away money, but you can still use stakes and pacing. For example, start your video in an exciting gameplay moment, skip the long menu screens or character setup. Hook viewers by stating a challenge. Can I beat this boss using only a spoon? Let's find out. That's your open loop. Throughout the video, keep the energy up, trim out boring walking scenes or grinding. Use editing to highlight only the funny, intense, or surprising moments. You can add novelty by maybe switching strategies mid-game or throwing in a surprise roll. I turned on a randomizer halfway through. And emotionally, let your reactions show. If you're excited or frustrated, share it. It helps viewers feel invested. The idea is to treat a gaming video almost like a storyline or challenge, not just raw gameplay. Many successful gaming creators do this. They add challenges, they cut ruthlessly, they use memes, etc., all to keep retention high, just like I do with real-life challenges. Educational/how-to channel. If you run a tutorial or educational channel, retention is about being informative and engaging. Hook the viewer by demonstrating value immediately. For instance, show the cool end product or result first. Here's the robot we'll build by the end, or watch me solve the Rubik's Cube in 5 seconds. I'll teach you how. This gets them curious to learn. Then, pace your teaching in a way that isn't dry. Avoid long-winded theoretical exposition up front. Instead, dive into a practical step or a fascinating fact early. Use stories or real examples to illustrate points. Storytelling works in education too. Break the content into sections with clear goals. Step 1, Step 2. To apply novelty, you might include an unexpected tip or myth-busting moment halfway to re-spark interest. Visually, incorporate diagrams, quick cuts, or even a bit of humor to prevent monotony. And stakes can be softer here. Maybe set a challenge like, will our code run without errors at the end? Or can I learn this language in a day and test it with a native speaker? Little challenges within educational content can motivate viewers to see the outcome. Remember, even though the aim is to teach, you are still competing for attention. So present information in the most intriguing, concise way possible. Vlogging/lifestyle channel. If you're a vlogger or storyteller, you may think your daily life doesn't have MrBeast level stakes. But you can create stakes and retention by planning a narrative arc in your vlogs. For example, start by teasing something exciting that will happen later. By the end of today, I'm going to surprise my friend with a gift. Stick around to see his reaction. That's your hook and open loop. During the vlog, don't include every little thing you filmed. Edit it like a story, with only the interesting interactions, jokes, or meaningful moments. Pacing matters. A common mistake is leaving in too much casual footage. Cut it tighter. If a sequence is dragging, add a time-lapse or a background tune and speed it up, or just skip ahead. Use music and editing to set moods and keep viewers emotionally engaged, happy, suspenseful, etc., as appropriate. You can also incorporate mini surprises, maybe a twist in your day, an unexpected problem that came up, which you then solve on camera. Lifestyle content can retain viewers by making them feel connected to you, so let your personality shine, show genuine emotion, and interact with the camera as if it's a friend. If you care about what you're sharing, and you package it in a compelling way, viewers will care too. I've seen vloggers dramatically improve retention just by adopting some of these tactics. Hooking early, adding a clear purpose to the vlog, and cutting all them, so yeah, I'm in my car. 5 minutes of nothing, segments that lose people. Tech reviews/informational. Suppose you review gadgets. Many tech channels start with an unboxing and take forever before giving an opinion. To apply my strategy, start with the climax. Maybe show the device doing something amazing or your one-line verdict up front. This phone beats the iPhone. Here's why you need to see this. That hooks viewers. Even if they might not agree, they'll stick around to hear your reasoning. Keep the review moving. Structure it in interesting sections, e.g. a quick montage of specs while you voice over the highlights, then testing camera, then a speed test. Each segment should be tight and engaging. Throw in a surprise test or an unconventional comparison midway to jolt interest. We dumped it in water to test durability at the 5-minute mark. Check this out. Use visuals heavily, cut to examples as you speak so there's no dull talking head portions. And as always, end with a strong conclusion or recommendation that pays off the initial hook. Even in a niche like tech, story and stakes can be present. The stake might be, is this $1,000 gadget worth it, or will it fail our tests? And that question keeps viewers watching for the answer. low budget, or new channels. You might not have money to set cars on fire or give away islands. That's fine. Retention doesn't require money. It requires creativity. You can create stakes with personal challenges. If I don't complete X, I have to do a dare, or I only have $20 to do Y. Can I make it happen? You can create curiosity with unique ideas or by tackling common topics in a fresh way. I tried every coffee on the Starbucks menu in one day. Here's what happened will likely outperform a generic Starbucks coffee review because it has a fun hook. No matter your resources, focus on engaging storytelling. Even a video essay can be made retention-friendly by opening with a compelling question or statement, structuring it like a mystery to be solved, and using editing, music, and visuals to maintain interest. Also, leverage your personality. Enthusiasm is contagious. If you are clearly passionate or having fun, or deeply invested in the topic, viewers feel that and stay along for the ride. And definitely apply the no boring bits rule. You might have to be a one-person production, but you can still edit out the rambles. Add a zoom when your face reacts, throw a quick meme image in, etc. to punch things up. It's about effort and thought, not budget. I started with no money, just like everyone. What set me apart was how much I focused on improving content. Do the same, and you'll see retention gains. At the end of the day, whatever your niche, always put yourself in the viewer's shoes. Would I honestly watch this whole video if it wasn't mine? Be real with yourself. If the answer is not a resounding yes, identify why and fix it. It could be the intro is too slow, or there's a segment that only you find funny but new viewers wouldn't. Use the tactics I've outlined: strong hook, tight editing, clear structure, emotional/story elements, and frequent engagement. You might need to adapt exactly how you do each of these, but the underlying principle is the same. A cooking tutorial can hook with a mouth-watering preview of the dish and hold attention by rapidly showing each step. Number 5-minute onion chopping scenes, please. A history documentary can open with a fascinating question or dramatic reenactment, and keep interest by narrating like a story, complete with twists or revelations. No matter the genre, respect your audience's time and give them a reason to watch till the end. Do that, and you're applying MrBeast retention strategies in your own unique way. Final thoughts: it's all about the viewer. I've shared a lot of tactics and examples here, but they all boil down to one core idea: make videos that people can't stop watching. Be ruthless about quality and entertainment value. I often say that if you want to succeed on YouTube, you have to obsess over it, and that's true. I've spent literally tens of thousands of hours brainstorming ideas, studying analytics, and refining my craft. Since I was a teenager, not an hour has gone by where I didn't think about how to make my videos better. You don't have to be that extreme. I'm a bit crazy, I know, but you do need to put in real effort and thought. Remember, the algorithm is just the audience. If you thrill the audience, YouTube will reward you. If people click off, no algorithm can save you. So focus on understanding what your audience enjoys, keep them engaged, and they will repay you with their time and the platform with promotion. And if a video flops retention-wise, don't get discouraged, learn from it. My first 100 videos were pretty bad. I slowly leveled up by analyzing what sucked and doing it better next time. It's a continuous process of improvement. I genuinely get excited about trying to outdo myself with each upload. It's like a game, chasing that higher retention metric, but also reading comments and seeing people say, "I watched the whole thing without realizing time passed." That, to me, is success. If you can reach a point where your viewers trust that any video you put out will be worth watching in full, you've made it. And believe me, it's possible in any niche with dedication. I hope this deep dive gave you useful insights and actionable tips. Now it's on you to apply them. Be creative, be bold, and don't be afraid to be a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to keeping your audience entertained. If you do, you'll be well on your way to achieving beastly retention rates, winking face. Good luck, and happy creating. Go make something so engaging that I end up watching it to the end, too. Jimmy, MrBeast.